Hey everybody, it's John from JonLoomer.com and Jon Loomer Digital on Facebook. So this is my third video blog, and so thanks for tuning in. Just a little background on the format. Every week, once a week, usually on Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll put out a post on my Facebook page saying ask me anything. And when I do that, go ahead and ask me anything. I'll answer as many as I can on this video blog. And typically it's 4 or 5, maybe 6, but I try to keep it under 20 minutes. Try to keep it between 15 and 20. So let's get at the questions today. Now I'm going to skip down to the bottom to start because there's obviously some important stuff going on. Question from Michael George Holmes. What is graph search and what does it mean to Facebook users? I have just been flooded with this for the last couple days. So you probably know, and as a user you may actually not know, but graph search is Facebook's latest announcement on drastically improving their search. All right. So whereas before their search was largely ineffective and useless, even though there are still a billion searches a day, they want to make it much more relevant. So what they're doing is, and this is being rolled out, it's in beta, you have to sign up for the beta. And I don't even have it yet, and I signed up for it, I thought, immediately. So essentially what it's going to be, you combine phrases to find relevant data. So it could be you want to search for people who like to run and live in Colorado. All right, that could be an example. Or it could be friends who like pizza and like rock music. Something ridiculous like that. All right. So it can be either your friends, and it'll always find what's most relevant to you first. But you can also search out non-friends. But regardless, this doesn't change privacy. Understand that. It's whatever could have been found or seen by you in the first place. It's now easier to find. So there's undoubtedly going to be another privacy uproar because people seeing stuff that's out there, it's now easier to find. We've been through this so many times. I'm still amazed that this continues to happen. But regardless, yeah, I think it's going to be pretty powerful stuff. So it's going to make it much easier for users to find relevant content on Facebook. And understand, even when they're running searches that won't result in Facebook content, Facebook will switch that search over to Bing. So it'll surface Bing results. So in terms of a user, it could be finding music that other people like, finding books that other people like that are like them or live in a certain area, finding restaurants and businesses and products from like-minded people. I think that's going to be important. So it's good from a user perspective. I think it's just as good from a business point of view, because that means that people will be more able to find you on Facebook. So that's the first thing. So discovery is going to be good for Facebook pages, for businesses. And so you have to make sure that, number one, you have your place set up appropriately, so Facebook knows that you're a place. So when somebody is in your neighborhood and they're saying, where is a good pizza place in my area, Facebook will surface restaurants based on ratings, based on your friends and whether they've checked in or liked the page or provided their ratings, because you can rate businesses now. So that's all good. And it's a long answer, but there's going to be so many other benefits as well. I mean, so for me, when I'm running advertising, I could search out pages that people like who also like Jon Loomer Digital. Okay? And I could start trying to find that overlap. So when I'm targeting ads, I can start targeting at those people as well, as opposed to just searching at people who like Mashable and Mari Smith and Amy Porterfield and all Facebook and inside Facebook and all the kind of logical stuff. There may be some buried jewels in there as well. So lots of good stuff. I just know that right now the search results only turn up people, places, interests, and I'm missing one other. There are 4 things, but it's not going to turn up any post types or anything like that yet. So the search results won't bring up a status update or the photos are the other thing. So photos are the 4th. And also this isn't yet good for mobile. That said, Nearby kind of integrates some of these features in it as well. So if you haven't gotten it yet, I'll provide the link here as well for signing up for that beta. All right, let's get to another question here. Let's start from the top here. Kimberly and Jimenez, sorry. What are some ways you attract fans to your Facebook page? I'd love to hear any tips on growing a quality fan base. There's so many ways. So for me personally, because every business is different, whether you have a physical location or not. We'll start there. Let's say you're a restaurant or some sort of physical business. You should have signs in your store. All right. If you have a restaurant, you should have signs on the tables indicating like us on Facebook for X. Make sure there's a reason why they should like your page. Could be for discounts only available to Facebook fans. Okay, like our Facebook page. Check into our restaurant on Facebook. So having that kind of stuff too. When they check in, they may be more likely to like your page as well. So those little things, as well as even like on receipts, just small things like that. So that's if you're a physical location. Otherwise, if you have email newsletter, an email list, make sure that liking your Facebook page is either within autoresponders, like after somebody subscribes. Make sure you like my Facebook page at X. Make sure it's within email, within your signatures of emails. Like I said, autoresponders, you can space it out. So after they've done X, maybe a day later or 10 days later, make sure they get this announcement to go like your Facebook page if they haven't already. For me, a big way I drive likes to my page are 2 ways. My website. I churn out a lot of content on my website, so I get a lot of traffic to my website, and I put that Facebook like box over there. And a pretty large chunk of my likes come directly from that box. So that's a big part. And Facebook ads. I really don't spend a lot on Facebook ads, but I budget somewhere in the neighborhood of $50, sometimes $100 a month. And right now, I have one ad running for a whole $2 a day. Okay, all it is a like ad, all right, a sponsored story, page like ad that runs on the, actually goes into news feeds, it goes into sidebars, goes into mobile, all of it. So $2 a day, and it's probably doubling what I would typically get in a given day because of that ad. So I would absolutely run ads as well. I mean, there's so many different ways you can do it. When you write content mentioning your Facebook page and driving people there. Also commenting on the pages of others on their content as your page. Don't spam, obviously. But those are just a few. I hope that helps, Kimberly. All right, let's see. Okay, Mushki, I believe is your name. Apologize if I completely screwed that up. Should I have a content plan for my Facebook posts? Any more insights on what actual content I'll post on the page? Okay, so essentially, should you have a plan for your Facebook content, and got basically what kind of content works, that kind of thing. So this is my recommendation, especially when you're starting. the first month, 2 months or so, or if you have multiple people managing your Facebook page. Absolutely, you have to have a structured plan put into place to start establishing a routine. Okay, so first, know how often you can post every day. Know what kind of assets you have, what kind of content you have to share. Start taking inventory of the kind of content you have, like evergreen content that may not even be new, but would still work now. Start collecting posts by others that you can share. But you also have to understand what your audience is. So these are a lot of things you have to establish ahead of time. You know, who is your audience? What are the things they like? What are the things they expect from you? What kind of value would they expect from you in order to hang around and to comment and engage and share? So that's why those are some important questions you need to answer, because what you don't want to do is get caught up in this sharing cat photos and stuff if it doesn't apply to your audience. Because what you're going to do is you may get more audience, or excuse me, more interaction, more engagement, but it's not quality engagement. So if you can, establish some themes for each day of the week, some sort of expectation for yourself or whoever is going to be sharing the content, and go from there. Again, for a few weeks or a month or a couple months, whatever it takes, to at least establish that routine. Now, for me personally, first of all, I'm the only one who manages my Facebook page, so I don't have to worry about stepping on toes of other people. But the other thing is, I've done this now for quite a while, where I've established a routine. I know exactly what I'm doing. So what is difficult is I don't know necessarily what I'm going to be posting a few days from now. I do partially, but not entirely, right? So my strategy is based on three main things: my new content, my evergreen content, and the content of others. Okay, so the evergreen stuff, I've planned that out a month in advance. I've collected old posts that I've written that were in most cases popular and I think are going to be useful to people if they see them again. And I share those and I schedule those at odd times of the day. So I'm focusing between, I believe, 7:30 p.m. and about 2 a.m. my time to reach a different audience, because I otherwise focus my time earlier in the day, the morning to mid-afternoon. So I dedicate that later time to the evergreen content. All right, and then I write a blog post typically late at night, and then have it scheduled to share the next morning. I experiment a little bit, typically between 6:30 and 8 o'clock in the morning, my time. But and then the third thing is, as I go through my Google Reader every day and I'm reading lots of stuff, if I see some really good piece of content, I share all that stuff on Twitter anyway. If you don't follow me there, follow me at Jon Loomer. But I'll pick out one on some days where I'm like, this is really, really good, and I'll share that to Facebook as well. So those are the three parts of my content strategy. I've actually written a whole blog post about this, about how to establish your Facebook content strategy, and you can go to that link there. Okay? See where we're at here on time. All right, we're running out of time. And Bob, let me answer this really fast, because I actually answered this, if not the first and the second video blog. How do you decide to prioritize what you post on various platforms? So really quick, do not spread yourself too thin. Okay, focus on one that you'll be most effective at. Invest in it. Do really well at it. But establish a presence in the other. Sprinkle your content around. Focus on what's relevant when possible. Like, it would be good if I were to do this a little bit better. I could focus more of my Google Plus content. And this is especially since I don't even write about anything other than Facebook now, it makes it more challenging. But when I used to write about other things, I would share more content that was about, say, SEO and blogging and Google in general. To Google, obviously share images to Pinterest, and I share just about everything to Twitter. But I don't spend a lot of time in those areas. Okay, so do not spread yourself too thin is really my advice for you there. Okay, Diane, regarding advertising, when to stop. When are there enough likes where there will naturally be growth without having to advertise? Is there a number? I don't think there's a number. I really don't. I think it's important in the early going to run, and really the period you are with your business and your page really depends on what type of advertising you should be using. Because in early going, you have very few fans. Running the sponsored stories won't be as effective. But running like the standard marketplace ad that shows up in the sidebar, that's going to attract the new people. I would be running those, or you could be running the ads with custom audiences, so you can target your email list if you have an email list. That said, I think you should be running them constantly. You should, like I said, I've always got one running, whether it's a sponsored story, page like, or I'm promoting a post, or I occasionally also have something that may be going in the sidebar. But I monitor each of those individual ads. I mean, the sponsored story for a page like, that's going to live on, right? But for individual pieces of content and the wording of certain ads, you need to watch those. You need to watch when they're suddenly no longer effective, and you should be stopping those, cleaning them up, trying a different twist. And even with the page like ads, it gets to a point, you should be looking at the targeting. And when it's starting to be less effective, pay attention to, oh, is there a different way, a different audience I can reach? So I don't just keep hammering the same one over and over that have established that they are not going to like my page. So look at your numbers when they really start dipping and there's no one liking your page anymore, or clicking on the ad, or taking some desired action. That's when you need to look at stopping it. But overall, I think you should constantly run ads. That needs to be part of your strategy to continue growth upwards. So I hope that helps. All right. I think that's going to be it. I'm really trying to keep it between 15 and 20 minutes. I don't want to bore you to death. So I hope that helps. Once again, make sure you check out my page, Jon Loomer Digital on Facebook. I will be asking this question once a week. Ask me anything. Ask a question there, and I'll do my best to answer it. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this video blog on YouTube so you don't miss the next one. All right. Check out my website, jonloomer.com. Thanks, and until next week, do awesome things.